Yeah.
I took it down. It was weird just sitting there. All right. Thank you. You too. Yeah.
Good morning, guys. How you doing? Doing this good. Another day over. Not eager to. How you guys doing?
Still alive. That's all I can see.
No, don't pay attention to us yet, just talk amongst yourselves. Will you do us a comment? No, I'm tired, you don't want me to get through this out there. I promise. Yes.
You guys go to the residence.
I said, what did you bring this?
Everything.
Last year, one of them. We're just a small piece.
Yes.
They were in Europe.
I know we lose
Billy had a big.
San Francisco, and then up in Europe, then before they got to Europe, they're little. One second.
Same people Swainsboro was probably about 3 people. Women's minor and We had the biggest we ever had. Hey, JD, congratulations. That's impressive.
welcome and good morning. Thank you. I'm Teresa Wynn. I am our acting treasurer's assistant, something like that for the board right now. But I'm also a member of the fellowship and very excited to welcome you this morning. Come, whoever you are, holding various beliefs, whatever your skin color, whatever your age or gender identity, whatever your abilities, whomever you love, you are welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Statesboro. You are welcome in this, our religious home. I definitely want to extend a warm welcome to any visitors or guests this morning. We hope that you shared some information when you first arrived at the door so that we can put you on our mailing list, let you know what's going on in the future. But if you would like to introduce yourself now, there is an opportunity. Martha?
Oh, I would like to introduce my guest. His
I would
name
love
is Diego. I'm Phoenix, and he asked me if he could come and visit our church. He's curious. He's 13 years old, and I'm very pleased that he's here.
Welcome, Diego.
Welcome, Diego. How are you?
For the month of March, we are going to be sharing our offering. So anything not labeled as a pledge that comes in the offering plate will be shared with the nonprofit that is local called Restoring the Breach. They do a lot of tutoring and mentoring work in our community, and we're excited to be able to support them with our gifts this morning. Now I invite you to join me in our congregational affirmation. There we go. Here and in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is this prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. I am so glad we are all here together today, and the Rev Samara will be our worship leader and teacher this morning. Samara.
Thank you. And Finn will be our worship associate.
Oh, wonderful.
Come up and do the toast.
This is our chalice of love and light. We are in this all day and night.
Oh wait, you gotta say it again because the candle went out. Hold on, you got it working out. We could have just done that with the thing, but this feels better.
This is our chalice
Of love and light, uniting us all by day and night.
I have a feeling it is going to be that kind of service. All right, beloveds, we are going to greet each other. If you would, wherever you are, turn and greet your neighbor. Say how do you do.
Thank you.
Okay, be sure to turn the camera in the back wall and say hello to the whole side. Hey, everybody. Good morning. I'm Sherry. We have an opening hymn this morning. Mother Earth, Beloved Garden. It's number 1067 in your teal hymnal, of which we don't have enough for every individual person to have one, so please share with each other. And the words will also be on the screen. Owen is going to play the melody through once for those of us who may not be familiar with this hymn, and then I invite you to rise. Well, now I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and after that initial, we will all sing together, whoever would like to join in. And now we'll have our story for all ages, which Finn will read for us. And I invite all who are young and young at heart to come join us up front to enjoy the story.
This book is called I Am Enough by Bliss. Like the sun, I'm here to shine. Like the voice, I'm here to sing. Like the bird, I'm here to fly and soar high over everything. Like the trees, I'm here to grow. Like the mountains, here to stand. Like time, I'm here to be and be everything I can. Like the chant, I'm here to fight. Like the heart, I'm here to love. Like a ladder, I'm here to climb, and like the air, to rise above. Like the wind, I'm here to push. Like a rope, I'm here to pull. Like the rain, I'm here to pour, and drip and fall into one foot. Like the moon, I'm here to dream. Like the student, here to learn. Like the water, here to swim. Like the fire, here to burn. Like the winter, I'm here to win. And if I don't, get up again. I know that I may cry sometimes cry. But even then, I'm here to shine. I'm not meant to be like you. You're not meant to be like me. Sometimes we will get along, and sometimes we will disagree. I know that we don't look the same. Our eyes, our skin, our hair, our frame. But that does not dictate our worth. We both have places here on earth, and in the end, we are right here to live a life of love, not fear. To help each other when it's tough, to stay together. I am.
Will everybody say it with me?
I am enough.
Nelson will lead us in our children's affirmation. Y'all do it too.
Unitarian, Universalist, people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Yay! And for our children's recessional, I invite those who are able to form our tile, our canopy for the children to probably run through.
Beneath our arms, we shelter you. You warm our hearts, rescue us through. May I run you as you go, to help you learn and help you grow.
All right, now is the time in our service when we invite those who are willing and able to share of their treasure. We accept pledges, we accept donations to the church, and of course, in March, half of everything not marked as a pledge will go to Restoring the Breach, as Teresa described earlier. You can, your options are to drop money or check in the basket, as I will take them around, which is sort of like a metal bowl. Or you can do it online. There's a QR code here, and also on our website, there's a way to do it on our website. And Owen is gonna make a little link for us while we do. This morning I offer you a reading for your meditation and reflection. It's a poem. It's one of my favorites. It actually is an anchor to most of my theologies. It's called Stubborn Ounces, and it's written by Benaro Overstreet. You say the little efforts that I make will do no good. They never will prevail to tip the hovering scale where justice hangs in balance. I don't think I ever thought they would, but I am prejudiced beyond debate in favor of my right to choose which side shall feel the stubborn ounces of my weight. So when I came up with the title to this sermon, it hadn't been written yet. And I had to come up with something a month in advance for the newsletter. So here we are. Because what I'm thinking is now, from a very real standpoint, the ego self, the lowercase I, that understands itself as a person with this or that age, and this or that group of ancestors, and this or that amount of money, etc., etc., etc. That self is not in charge of sparking your soul. That localized you, quote unquote you, did not generate the spark. That spark of the infinite in each of us is the purview of the divine, or God, or cosmic mystery, or the earth, or the universe. Whatever name you give to the ineffable all that is bigger than this local you. We are born with it, this spark. We are born into it. We move through it, and it moves in us. So for all the reasons that we can name and those we cannot, infinity, for whatever reason, expressed as you in this moment, and your genes and your upbringing gave you certain aptitudes and affinities and the sacred spark that generates life and love and creativity, that connects us to the whole, may call those gifts and affinities into service. Some folks might answer a call by doing art. Some folks might do it by gardening. Some folks do it by delivering food or volunteering. Some folks do it by fixing cars, some by building spreadsheets. The point is, your soul's spark was a gift to you and an inheritance that you carry, and it is uniquely yours. And we've talked about the gift economy before. There is this understanding that every part in the system serves a purpose. Your soul's spark has a purpose. Now, you did not ignite it, but it is on you to kindle it. And it is always there, though our awareness of it may sputter or go out sometimes. So this idea of sparking your soul might be better described as rekindling attention, rekindling intention towards that which gives you life, which lights up your soul with wonder, with joy, and with purpose. Our own capacity to connect with that which lights us up is a gift that once received is meant to be given out. Howard Thurman said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive and go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive So sparking your soul is in part about discerning and honoring what helps you to come alive. The beauty of it is, in coming alive, you end up answering the world's need. That piece of it that is yours to answer. The beloved community will not be built as a result of anxiety or fear or overfunctioning. If we want a world based on joy and equity and abundance, those are the tools we've got to use. So how many of you, show of hands or call out or whatever, how many of you have a thing that you already know about that gives you life, that brings you maybe irrational levels of joy, that helps you to feel your own reason for being? Does anybody want to call out? Tell me what they are?
Dance.
Dance. Art. Art in general.
Love, just spreading the love.
Just love, bring in the love.
I love watching my kids in their element.
Yes, children in their element, your own children in their element.
Forest bathing.
Forest bathing.
Moon
Moon bathing. Oh, this is such a good crowd.
Growing food.
Growing food. Oh, these are so good.
Co-creating with the divine.
Co-creating with the divine. So these things might feel very, weirdly specific, or maybe even small. It might not even seem spiritual on the surface, although y'all named some really good ones. It might even seem kind of useless, but if you just love raking leaves and then jumping in, or collecting all different kinds and colors of duct tape. One of mine is writing limericks. Another one is crocheting these circles. I guess they're mandalas. I don't know. I call them meditation mats because that sounds really good. I have managed to figure out what to do with some of them. I've sold some and I've given some away, and there's a stack of them in my house. That's not the reason that I make them. For me, the joy is in the doing. It makes me so happy. I look a little bit manic, or manic is a clinical word, but this joy and delight that it brings in me feels very mismatched to the task as it appears from the outside, right? That's because the spark of my soul is in it. So these ways of connecting with joy mean something, even if all it is doing in any given moment is recalibrating your relationship to what matters to you. Reminding you of what is good and wholesome and worthy, that what is good and wholesome and worthy is possible in this world. Because here's the thing. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is... The spirit is willing, but the flesh is...
weak.
Yes. So let's talk about this move your body part of this sermon. The way I'm thinking about it is moving your body has to do with filtering the discernment of your soul's spark, right? And your gifts and your sense of purpose and your values, through filtering those things through the capacities and limitations of your body. And all of the particularities of your age, your ability, your social location, the relative access to power, the relative access to resources that you have, all inform how and how well and how much you can move through this world. Because ultimately it is about service, right? Ours is a practical faith. Unitarian Universalism is a practical religion. It also has to do with understanding ourselves as parts of a whole, and where action may be fruitful or not, and accounting for impact as well as intention. Right? The soul spark may be intention and values and purpose, and impact is where it plays out in the fleshly world where we are likely to bump into each other, where we will and we do bump into each other. Because no person is complete unto themselves. No single person has infinite time or infinite energy, and so your body's limitations can actually be a gift. Because those limitations invite us to be selective about how and what we do with our time and energy, and who and how we connect meaningfully. Our precious, finite time and energy, our max-outable attention. If you care to, raise your hand if you feel either exhausted or overwhelmed at least twice a week.
Laughter.
4 times a week? Daily? Yeah. Hourly, minutely, do I hear secondly? Yeah. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And yet, in this world, with everything that is going on in our world now, and has been going on for decades and centuries and millennia, right? This is just the latest iteration of a cycle. I didn't have confronting fascism on my bingo card, but here we are. And I readily admit that I am new to the fight. But in this fight, the exhaustion and the overwhelm that you feel is the point. Those with power seek to preserve it by mobilizing systems of oppression that are very well established to distract the people, to divide and conquer the people. All the ways in which our attention and energy and time are monetized, commodified, algorithmed beyond recognition, and stretched to or beyond the breaking point by the horrifying news pouring in from every direction, from our hearts to other nations. It has an impact. I know you know it has an impact. So author Jenny Odell wrote a book called How to Do Nothing, Resisting the Attention Economy. And she has this to say about the danger of chronic distractibility. In the short term, distractions can keep us from doing the things we want to do. In the longer term, however, they can accumulate and keep us from living the lives we want to live, or even worse, undermine our capacities for reflection and self-regulation, making it harder, in the words of Harry Frankfurt, to want what we want to want. Thus, there are deep ethical implications lurking here for freedom, well-being, and even the integrity of the self. End quote. Now, I will contextualize this quote a little more by saying that this book was published in 2019, before the pandemic and before the publication of Project 2025. So reading this book today, the gloves are off even more now than they were a few years ago. Today, doing nothing is a luxury that doesn't exist if you think about that phrase at its surface level. Rather, the doing nothing that she is talking about, I would frame today as right-sizing our attention to bring it in line with our effort, our capacity, and our sense of purpose. It will mean missing out on parts of the revolution. It will mean missing out on most of the revolution. But that doesn't matter because you, as an individual person, were never going to be most of the revolution all by yourself. And that doesn't mean the role you play isn't absolutely vital. This is the challenge of the finite body, our limited attention. To orient or reorient toward your values and towards each other, while systems profiting from your overwhelm seek to keep you off kilter and isolated. This requires intentionality and effort and bravery and resilience. It requires reclaiming your heretical nature. Heretic meaning one who chooses. And probably means slowing down. In many cases, doing less. Doing less so that you can become more. Doing less so that you can be more present with each other. And this is where reckoning with our sense of what does enoughness mean comes into play. Because if we are really finite creatures, then one of our spiritual tasks is probably to recognize that the body alone will never be enough to solve the world's problems, heavily air quoted, because the expression of life is cyclical and ongoing. Did you know that there have been 5 global extinction events in the history of the Earth? I see we're nodding. 5 times that 80 to 95% of all life on Earth died off abruptly for one reason or another. Abruptly in geological terms, right? How many times did life come back? 6. I mean, life was changed dramatically, right? And few species survive from one extinction event to the next. And I'm not trying to bring anybody down with extinction events, because I think most of us know that we are kind of in the middle of another extinction era right now, like it's unfolding around us. And yet we're here at church on Sunday, trying to make meaning of our lives, right? The point is, life returned with irrational abundance and diversity. Life, like love, I'll quote myself from last week, is wildly persistent. So one of the ultimate pieces of poignancy in this to me, the poignancy of life, is that we can be so alive, so vivid and vibrant and soulful and heartfelt and connected, and even if everything is amazing right this second, it wouldn't last. We are made for change. We are made, each of us, in the image of life in its wildly abundant diversity. And we each have our season. To answer the world's pain, that piece of it that is in, our neighborhood, this is a part of what makes us more human, more humane. To do what we can, when we can, to hold ourselves accountable to that standard of being a work in progress and doing the best we can and soulfully grieving with each other for the things we couldn't save, for the people we couldn't save. to be a work in progress, earnestly, wholly, holy in our imperfection. That is enough. The world is enough to meet the world's need, and you are a part of the world. And that is not a miracle, that is life. Soul depleting and soul replenishing. Body depleting and body replenishing. World of eternal and sacred motion. World without end. Not person without end. Now, for most of my life, I have felt subject, maybe even subjected to time in a way that didn't feel good, okay? The sense of rushing and overwhelm and trying to do all the things and not enough hours in the day that arises from this sense of my body being divorced from time and trying to keep up or catch up. Does that sound familiar to anybody? I understood myself for all those years as being a body mind that was trying to hurtle through space, through time. Usually at some kind of breakneck pace, because not enoughness is core to that framework. Not enoughness is core, it is what anchors that belief system. So that sense of not enoughness that I was unconsciously carrying around me was feeding this breakneck pace that I was trying to live that life. And then I got older, and my body started talking to me. And when I say talking to me, I mean snatching me by the neck so that I would pay attention. And so in the process of trying to work with whatever this new orientation was, I ended up flipping the script on that idea. I am a body mind, hurtling through space-time. And I flipped the script, and what I understood is, no, my body mind is sovereign. It is space-time that moves through me. And now I know this sounds maybe kind of weird and esoteric, and you all will know what a complete theology nerd that I am by sharing the story with you. But what this means to me and why it's relevant today is that this is a new way to think about the limitations of the body-mind as actually collaborating with the spark of spirit. Body-mind and space-time in loving, slower, more mindful on my part, partnership. So when the body-mind is calling the shots on what unfolds, right? Or is at least a part of what's calling the shots, instead of only being like, oh, this new thing, and oh, this amazing thing, or feeling like I have to do this and I have to do this. When body-mind is calling the shots, there can be discernment about what is yes and what must be no. There is care and consideration taken for the impact of actions on self and on environment and on the beloved vow. To be a part of something, then, is much different than being a part, than being isolated. To be a part of something means, well, it may mean confronting the ways that we are each incomplete, without each other. But that incompleteness doesn't mean the same as not enoughness. Because in the midst of our incompleteness, we are worthy of wholeness, longing for it, working towards it, finding moments of it, soul and body in partnership, a template for healing and liberation. I offer you this blessing in closing. Holy spark, warm us with your delight. Guide us with your presence towards our purpose in the world. Sacred body, you carry us unquestioningly through the world of infinite creative expression. May we recall with kindness your limitations, which we face sometimes with grace, sometimes with pain, sometimes by the skin of our teeth. Bless each of us with wisdom to do the next right thing, held in the presence of love, together building with courage and commitment and the sweat of our brow, the beloved community, a sanctuary of all beings. Blessed be, so may it be. I will invite you to rise in body or spirit, and we will sing a rousing rendition of When the Spirit Says Do. We will do 4 verses, so don't worry about keeping up. We're going to do, sing, laugh, do. Right? So everywhere it says do, the next time around we're going to sing, and then laugh, and then we'll close out with another repetition of do. Please rise in body or spirit as you are willing and able. Any joy or concern that is carried on your heart that you would like us to know about. I will invite you to consider that we are publicly live streaming, so if there are things that you would like to name that are too tender for that public environment, please feel welcome to come, see those of us on the pastoral care team, Sherry or myself, and we are happy to witness with you in private. Does anybody have a joy or concern to share?
for those who don't know me, my name is Kiki. So I've got a couple today, and a few are gonna be redacted for, privacy reasons, but, I'm gonna light a couple of candles of concern if you've got any spare prayers, good wishes, rituals that you can do this week. I've got a few friends who are going through some medical issues. One is about to go to a big teaching hospital in their area to see about the possibility of having a very serious life-extending surgery for their issues. So if you could keep them in your thoughts, we would like them with us as long as possible. And then another friend of mine just went to the ER the other day and discovered some masses on an organ, and we don't know if that's benign or not yet, but they do have a history, so keep them. And if you have anything left, for me, tomorrow's gonna probably be a kind of touchy day for me. It would have been my father's birthday, and this will be the first time in my life that he won't be there for me to share that with him. So that's gonna be, I'm assuming, probably a rough day for me tomorrow. So if you can spare a thought for me tomorrow, I would appreciate it. So, anyway.
Would you like some of this to touch with that?
Oh, it's up to you.
I am Trinity. I am going to light a candle of joy. I won't keep you by lighting so many candles because I've got so much to be joyful about. But I am so grateful that my good friend came with me to be here today. And that I am able to every day walk in the light of service to everyone who comes before me. I get that opportunity today, and that is such a blessing. So there is that. And then I'm going to share a concern. So I could use some prayers because Miss Mama needs to drop the rock. I've been trying to quit nicotine. And I am needing help through prayers like that. So I'm gonna drop this rock because it's time. It's time to let it go. Thank you.
Bless you. 36 years of divine service with tobacco. Sherry and I grew up, at least a significant part of our early childhood, maybe a quarter mile at most from a tobacco curing barn. And neither of our parents were smokers, but all 5 of us were addicted. And none of us smoke now. But as the last one who quit, it took hours to survive hours. And then they're like, you can either live or you can smoke. So.
Yeah, the tobacco curing barn was my first job out of high school.
Bless you that you're not an addict. At any rate, I'm happy for that and thankful. And hopefully, if you can take anything from me to help with your prayers or whatever, I'm of that age. Take with my energy and my strength. I miss my friend. And her name was Cindy on the plaque. I miss her a lot. But yesterday filled me with so much joy. One of the things that obviously, although I thought I was much too old to be all in again, social justice and marching in the streets and pulling out my old hippie soul is something that I was needing. I kind of felt like the last whatever of my life was gonna be about just art, like 24/7, and fun, family, whatever, but none of those things are what they need to be or can be if I'm not out there fighting for what we all know is right. So, and I was born a feminist and a social justice person because I don't know if Sherry inculcated in me or my parents did or life growing up was some of the last baby boomers, but if it isn't available to me, if it isn't something where I can follow my soul, then that's the same thing as it's not available to any other person. I don't have any right to. If groups I might be assigned to as a demographic, if it's only that demographic that can do it, then I have no right to. And that's the way I think just about every human I've ever known feels, and that's why. And it amazes me how often, even though I come and go, like a lot of you do, whether they move, whether they are here periodically and go away and come back, whatever the case, we tend to always find what the universe needs to give us at every time. And today's sermon very much hit exactly what I needed, including some things I didn't know I needed. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't like to say my name's Maria.
And I'm Lynn's older sister. My name is Sherry. And it was a joy to be out with many of you and other good, caring, loving people in Statesboro who were motivated to demonstrate for what we believe democracy should be and protest at the ways that it's not being that way now. So it was a joy to be there with all of you, and I'm grateful and appreciative for the folks who were able to transmute rage and anger and disappointment and still try to be positive and uplifted and hoping for the best and working for the best. But that's my preferred path. I don't want to be angry and despondent and in despair. So I'm happy to see other people able to be in that space. So it was a joy to be among you and all those who were there yesterday for that across Statesboro and the country. And then one more joy I want to share. It's a thrill to be part of Greener Borough, to be part of the good things going on in Statesboro, the new traditions, and to be part of the Green Fest downtown. And as far as I know, the first ever city bike parade on East Vine Street. So it was a beautiful day, weather-wise and spirit-wise, with people coming out and just having good, clean, family fun for all diverse people who live in Statesboro. So another joy.
Oh, Sherry, could you drop a stone of joy? Because I meant to say this when I was up there, but for those of you who weren't at No Kings yesterday, I did want to let y'all know that we had 3 ordained Unitarian Universalist ministers on site here in Statesboro, and I wanted to shout out and thank them all. Please send our thanks to Clint and Jane for being there. So Samara was there as well as Jane Page, and Clint was there as well. He gave, I arrived halfway through his speech, but the half I heard was amazing. Of course, you've all heard Clint speak, you know, those of you who are regulars. So, I mean, his speech was amazing and moving, and everything. And so, it was great to see them all there, you know, all wearing their stoles and their ministerial gear and you know, really representing for Unitarian Universalism and showing that we are here and we are present and we are part of the community and part of the social justice movement. So, thank you seriously, you know, as a congregation for, you know, the 3 of you being there and showing up and actually doing the work and being a presence.
It was also hot in civilian.
Yeah, I mean, we did have a good ministerial presence, you know, across, but it was so good to see that Unitarian Universalism was almost overrepresented for the part of the portion of the community we are. And I love that. So sincerely thank you for the three of you being here.
Well, the Unitarian Universalists in general got a nice shout out from the speaker who, living our values out loud and in the world is part of who we are, and we all showed up in that together, those of us who could make it. And many who were there in spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has occurred to me that the next and subsequent, which I hope will get to be monthly now because we finally get 3.5% of America's population demonstrated yesterday, which is the minimum amount it takes to make actual social change. We hit those numbers in the United States yesterday for the first time.
I hadn't heard that statistic before, thank you. Do y'all know the significance of 3.5%?
Yes.
Please raise your hand if you do not, if you would like an explanation of it briefly. Okay, so research has shown that in any society, historians have researched, in any country where authoritarianism is on an upswing, where it is attempting to get a foothold in the infrastructure of a nation, there is about an 18-month window at which, the pieces are being moved in order to secure and establish that strength. Every single time, in every country in which 3.5% of the populace responded with consistent, coordinated, non-violent effort, those regimes were overthrown. Or they failed to come to pass in the worst of what is possible in a fascist regime. So 3.5% is a fantastic first step. Now we just need to keep it going and diversify what we're doing, right? The protests are an excellent, huge, necessary part of that, and so is mutual aid, and so is solidarity and witnessing, and so is there's any number of ways that we can be a part of that 3.5% ongoing for that sustainability. That's exciting. Does anybody else have a joy or concern to share in this service?
My name is Finn. I just wanted to share a joy that I have. I am so grateful that me and my family got done with the migrant support group yesterday. It was, I don't know, it was just, I'm very glad that I got that. And we got to deliver things to families and put those packages together. I hate people, but
Same. You're in good company. There's lots of us here.
I have a joy. My grandma is getting surgery to get her cancer removed in a couple days. What's her name again? Susan.
Susan, I like to use names.
Thank you for being here even when you get people.
I have one more. Tomorrow is my dad's death anniversary date, and he's been dead for 15 years this year. He liked fish and birds, so if you see a bird, because there's not as many rocks. So just drop this for autism. Yes. Rocks for autism.
I'm really shiny your rocks for autism, honestly.
I can taste some.
Awesome.
You and I can paint some together.
That sounds nice.
All right, beloveds, if you have no other joys and concerns, we will move to our choral invocation to prayer. If you will join me in body or spirit singing Spirit of Life by Carolyn McDade.
but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of community. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Announcements. Anything newsworthy for the good of the group? Now's the time to come up and share. I can start to give you all a moment to think about it. We are having the first of 2 multiculturalism gatherings after the service. Now, I have been in communication with most of the people who expressed an interest. We have read 2 chapters. Sometimes we have crammed 2 chapters. But we are going to have a discussion after the service, and anybody who is interested is welcome to join. You don't have to have read the chapters. I think you might still find it to be valuable to be in conversation with each other about this very important topic. We'll be meeting in the sanctuary at 12 for that, 12 to 1:30.
I'm sorry, that's today, so it's in the law back at five.
Oh yeah, well, I guess we could do afterthoughts until 12. Do y'all want to do afterthoughts? I'm happy to do both. I'm just gonna, ask somebody to bring me a cup of coffee or cookies. Yeah. Let's plan on doing afterthoughts for about 15 minutes or so at 11:45. And then we'll move right into the multiculturalism gathering at 12, so you can use the clock as your signal for what we're doing and when. Does that sound good to everybody?
I don't know.
All right.
I always say the thing about the medieval group. So normally the medieval group will meet first Sundays of the month, but because the first Sunday of the month is going to be Easter Sunday, we are moving it to the second Sunday. So I'll change the calendar out there. But if you are interested in the medieval group, and if you don't know what that is, go talk to me after. But it will be on the 12th instead of, it'll be on the second Sunday instead of the first Sunday, because first Sunday is Easter. So just, upcoming for April, for anybody who's interested in attending, we are all ages, just anybody under 18 needs a responsible adult with it. All right, thank you.
Thank you. I remembered one. Abby's not in here, she's with the children, but next Sunday, Easter Sunday, is Easter egg hunt. So bring children or invite children, and if you haven't already, bring back some stuffed eggs to contribute to the egg hunt next Sunday. If there's empty ones in the hall, take some of those, or go buy some and put things that don't melt in it and bring it back. And one other thing, I think Abby asked me to announce, Millie is here today and she's selling discount cards to help offset a recent beta club trip where they went to Florida for fun. And so they're trying to retire the debt. So talk to her about her discount cards and support her if you can.
And if you don't remember, Beta Club tends to be the kids who make really good grades.
So I bought one of those cards, if y'all want to see one or Abby has one, but I looked, there's some awesome, there's like 2 discounts for ice cream. Little changes, it's really good, anyway. All right, anybody else?
Available snacks, Jean brought the spinach artichoke dip and slightly spicy cheese crackers and some sort of homemade, I should have said that, some homemade chocolate cookies. You make them with cake mix and chips, right?
Ooh, that counts.
Oh, and publicly, thanks Al for everything you always do, but especially for yesterday.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but smile just because.
Haven't made it online or Kentucky yet, but I'll do that tomorrow.
But the one person yesterday that shot me bird, and the one person that said you're so stupid, and the one person that stopped to try to talk me out of thinking I understood what the SAVE Act is all about. Every time I got the least bit discouraged, I'd look around and there would be Al.
Yeah.
Well, I was not that person. He showed you.
Al did not hit the bird, just in case people are wondering. Al was not the one. Thank you, Al. And also Al mentioned, in case, as I'm not sure what the sound quality is like back there for online, and just for the record, there's snacks and food available for fellowship references. And Kathy has an announcement.
And speaking of the snacks, there's a new sign-up sheet for hospitality. If you'd like to pick a date, you can come and supply our friend people.
Awesome. New sign-up sheet for hospitality. Are there any comments from the chat that anybody wanted
No.
to share?
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. You done? I have well, let me give you a benediction. So the benediction is the word that is meant to send you off into the world with that core anchor of spirit, feeling solid until you meet again. And these words are called With Passion and Faith by Pat Uribe Lichty. Go out now with hearts, hands, and minds renewed to the world that is waiting for you. Go out to the world to bring your gentle touch to those in pain. Go out to feed and house those in need. Go out to speak truth to those in power. Go out with courage to do the work which calls you. Go out now with your passion and faith to change the world. Amen. Amen. Thank you, beloveds. Join us for afterthoughts in about 5 minutes, if you care to, and the multiculturalism discussion at the top of the hour.
Are you guys staying in the multicultural?
That's what I was like, oh yeah.
I don't know, what do I